Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Ollie Hayes, and today I'm bringing you the starting 11 show for Newcastle versus Everton on Tuesday night at 7:30. Let's get straight into it. Starting with Jordan Pickford in goal. There's not a lot to say about Jordan Pickford, is there really? Made some very good saves against Bournemouth yesterday, and yeah, I think he's going to be really crucial in these last 9 games or so because we need everything we can get to get over this line, and I think Pickford is no different from that. So yeah, Jordan Pickford in goal for me. Back four, I'll start with left back. I'll go with Vitaly Mikalenko to come back in. Missed out yesterday against Bournemouth through illness, so you would expect him back for Tuesday night, and hope he would be fit and firing, ready to go. Like I said, with Pickford, it needs no introduction with Vitaly Mikalenko. He's one of these players that's been so good this season. Offers us some really positive stuff in terms of defence. And he's really honing that attacking phases of play now going forward. So I think Mikalenko has to come back in for me. Two centre halves of Branthwaite and Tarkowski. Again, not much to say about the first four names in this list. Branthwaite didn't have a great game yesterday. I think he'll be hoping for a bit of a better game. Made a few mistakes here and there, and Tarkowski got skinned a few times by Dominic Solanke. So I think they'll both be looking for a better performance on Tuesday night, and especially against the likes of Newcastle, they've got some top players up there with the likes of Alexander Isak. So I think it'll be a really good test for Branthwaite and Tarkowski. But for me, they have to start. And then at right back, another contended position on this pitch, I'd go with Nathan Patterson. It's a difficult one, this, because Coleman, apart from his unfortunate mistake, which led to Bournemouth getting the victory in the end, I think he had an okay game. I didn't think he was horrendous. He mopped up quite well, quite a few times, but no, I would opt against going for Ben Godfrey, and I'd opt against going for Seamus Coleman. I think it's the time for Nathan Patterson now. I think Sean Dyche is probably going to look at the performances yesterday from the back four and think, no, I think we need a little bit more going forward. So I think Nathan Patterson has to be that player that comes in, and I think Sean Dyche will probably think it's now time for him to opt for that right back. Moving into midfield, I'm going to go with Amadou Onana as the first man on the list. I think he'll be crucial for the midfield battle against Newcastle. You look at the likes of Bruno Guimaraes. I think he's one of these players that's going to really have a good battle with Amadou Onana, especially after Onana's performance in the international break with Belgium. He went toe to toe with Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. I think Bruno Guimaraes is another one of these players which he can go toe to toe with. So I think he's going to be crucial for that midfield battle on Tuesday night. And next to him, I go with James Garner. I don't think he was horrendous yesterday. I don't think he was probably one of the worst players on the pitch. I think there was definitely players that were worse than him, but we just need James Garner to find some form now, don't we? I think he's one of these players that was promised so much when he came to the club in terms of his technical ability and his set pieces, and he hasn't really delivered that so far. So, I think Sean Dyche is going to stick with James Garner, and for me, I can have no complaints with that. I just hope he can find some form now in these last 9 games and just get us over the line, get some assists, get some crosses into the box, because we know that he has got that technical ability. We're just yet to see it in an Everton shirt. And then a little bit ahead of him, I think Sean Dyche is going to opt with Abdoulaye Doucouré. I thought he was poor yesterday. I don't think he offered much going forward. He just needs to find some form, doesn't he? He needs to find that form that he had before Christmas in those run of games like Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Newcastle. If he can find that form and get us over the line, I think every Evertonian will be over the moon. But yeah, I think in that Dyche system, he is good at setting that press going forward, and I think I can't overlook Decore in terms of who's going to start here, and I think he will be, that figurehead in the midfield, and he'll be the man who's setting the press from midfield. He almost plays as a second striker, doesn't he? Really, and then that moves us on quite nicely to the forward part of the pitch. I'll start off the left. I'm going to go with Dwight McNeil. Crucial cross yesterday for the Beto goal to get us equal. I know it wasn't. It led to nothing in the end, but I think it was a crucial cross, and getting crosses into the box is what's going to be so crucial in these last 9 games or so. And for me, McNeil, he's not really hit the form that he did towards the back end of last season. But that being said, I think he has got the ability in there to do that. McNeil's playmaking ability is there. We know it's there as Evertonians. We've seen it before. It's just, can he unlock that now and maybe get crosses into the box, passes into Beto, and I think it's going to be a real crucial test on Tuesday night to see how McNeil gets on against a really tough side. I think if he can unlock that defence, I think it will be massive for us. Then off the right, I think Sean Dyche is going to opt for Jack Harrison. I think he probably would have opted for Danjuma if he's fully fit. Don't think we fully know the status on Danjuma yet. I know he is back on the grass, but whether he's fully fit for the Newcastle game, it might have come a little bit too soon, and you'd be looking at the Burnley game. Um, but yeah, for me, Jack Harrison will start on Tuesday night. Listen, Jack Harrison is what he is. He's on loan from Leeds this season. He is what he is. He's not really hit the heights what we wanted to see. I'm just hoping he can find a bit of form for this running because we've not seen what we saw in a Leeds shirt from him. He's got the odd goal here and there. He's got the odd assist, but we were expecting more, weren't we? And I think if he can just find this form, it's going to be huge for us. And then moving on to the striker position, again, probably one of the most contended positions on the pitch. I think a lot of fans have had a lot of debates in the last 24 hours on Twitter and on social media about who's going to start up front. For me, I think it's time for Beto. I think Dyche will probably opt for Beto. Listen, Calvert-Lewin's had his chance now. I think a lot of Evertonians are getting quite fed up with Dominic Calvert-Lewin up there. And, it's not for the want of trying. He's getting chances. He's trying to put the ball in the back of the net. But that being said, when it's not your day and it's not going your way, there's players underneath him that can step up and do the job. And Beto did exactly that yesterday against Bournemouth. He came on, scored the goal, which got us equal. I know it wasn't the prettiest of goals, and it was a poacher's goal, but listen, you've got to be there in the right position. I find DCL's getting to a point now where he's drifting wide, he's coming deep for the ball. He's winning flick-ons, but as a striker, you need to be in that 6 yard box. And Beto was exactly there yesterday. He was exactly where we needed him to be. So I think Beto now for this last 9 games, I think he needs that run, and I think he needs the run in the team just to try and bed in and look to try and string a few games together. Because he scored yesterday. We go to Newcastle. He starts on Tuesday night. He gets another goal. He goes on a run then. So I think Beto, it is time for Beto. What I would maybe like to say, and a lot of Evertonians probably wouldn't, maybe agree with me, but I think I'd quite like to see two up front. It's one of these times where we've tried so many different options, like for like players up there. Beto on for DCL, Dan Juma playing in behind. It's always the same tactics. Maybe if we went two up front and just tried to surprise Newcastle a little bit, maybe even try to incorporate Yusuf Chamiti into that, because he's a big striker. He can put himself about and he's scoring on international duty. So I think there is, room for options there. And I think I maybe would like to see two up front. I know we saw it late on in some games this season, but maybe start with it from the front just to try and surprise people. But no, my front three will be McNeil, Beto, and Harrison. And that is all for the starting 11 show. Let me know your thoughts on this starting 11. Let me know if you think there should be any changes to it. But that's all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.